Evan McMillan was once a dutiful son to Archie McMillan, a harsh and tyrannical man who ran both his mining company and his estate with an iron fist. Evan served as his father's enforcer, helping to maintain the business's productivity. Even as Archie's health deteriorated, Evan remained loyal, caring for him and carrying out his commands. But everything changed when Archie finally snapped. And Evan, now fully embracing his father's cruelty, led over 100 miners into a tunnel where he sealed them in with explosives. Soon after, Archie was found murdered in his own home, his body abandoned in the basement. From that moment on, Evan became a mere puppet for the entity, forced to sacrifice countless survivors in its endless trials. Archie, however, is emotionally abusive towards Evan. He regularly belittles him, throwing him to the ground and instructing him not to show kindness to the workers, warning that if you give them a little, they'll take everything. Evan recalls how his father once broke his jaw in a violent outburst and has learned to keep quiet about the workers' union and his growing friendship with them. Secretly, Evan has a passion for drawing, a small act of defiance in the face of his father's attempts to break his spirit. While Archie tries to teach him how to crush the spirits of others, whether they are workers or his future wife, Evan continues to sketch in secret. One day, Evan witnesses his father berating a sick worker who asks to leave early. Archie threatens to fire him, knowing it would ruin the man's life. Evan feels powerless, unable to do anything but wait for the union to act. As the worker collapses, Archie kicks him, ordering Evan to drag him outside. As Evan moves the worker, he begins to feel anger, not at his father, but at the worker himself, calling him a maggot and wishing to end his suffering. He starts to fear that he's becoming more like his father. Evan and Archie are out in the woods setting traps for bears, a hobby that Archie had been obsessed with for years. Archie recounts a story he's told many times before. How, while hunting with his brother, Evan's uncle, a bear attacked, tearing off his uncle's arm and eating his head. Archie killed the bear in a fit of rage, and then had to carry his brother's body 10 miles back to the house. But Evan begins to suspect that the truth of what happened that day is darker. That his father may have murdered his own brother. Evan begins to sketch his father in a bear suit, envisioning him as the one who murdered his uncle. His uncle, a kind philanthropist who would have run the family business fairly, is painted as a victim of Archie's cruelty. While Evan suspects his father's dark secrets, he doesn't feel disgust or shame for him. Instead, he feels conflicted, worrying that he's becoming just like the man he loathes. One night, Evan stands over his father's bed, watching him sleep. He feels a mixture of hatred and strange affection towards him. For a moment, he considers murder, lifting a stone, contemplating whether to strike his father down. But Evan can't bring himself to do it. He ponders alternatives, like setting up an accident while mining or on a hunting trip. But still, he hesitates. Evan's resentment grows as he sketches a new drawing of his father in a bear suit, this time drowning his mother. He never believed the story that his mother was swept away by a current. She had been beautiful, loving, and kind, but Archie cared more about his business than family. Evan is forced to submit to his father's will or risk dying. But he's tired of it. His friendships with the workers give him hope. They encourage him and talk to him in ways that his father never does. At dinner, Archie glares at Evan, sensing something is amiss. Evan knows his father is aware, or at least suspicious, of his discontent. A year ago, Evan brutally beat a man with a 2x4 for speaking ill of his mother. When the police arrived to arrest him, Archie simply smiled, knowing that Evan hadn't acted out of anger or to defend his mother, but because he craved power over the man. One day, Evan discovers that his drawings have been torn apart by his father. He painstakingly restores most of them, except for one, his drawing of his mother's drowning. When Archie enters the room, Evan braces for a beating or a lecture, but none come. Instead, Archie reveals that Evan's friends had betrayed him. They've sold him out. He says that tomorrow Evan will learn a lesson. Evan looks at his father with hatred, but not because of Archie. He hates the maggots who pretended to be his friends and betrayed him. As for his father, he feels respect, even admiration, for the man who, despite all of his cruelty, has made him into what he is. So what do you think? Was Evan an artistical man born into the wrong family? Or do you think he always had the chance to turn out like this? Make sure you let me know in the comments your thoughts on this. Thank you for checking out the video today. I hope you've learned something about Evan McMillan, or as we know him, the Trapper. I'm going to start uploading the laws of killers and survivors, so if you'd like to find out about the backstories of your favourite characters, then be sure to subscribe. You'd be doing me and the channel a huge favour. Shortly you'll see some of my other content show up on screen, so if you'd like to watch some more Dead by Daylight content, then feel free to click one of the videos you see. But with that gamers, stay safe and I'll see you in the next video.